I can't hear you.
I pulled over, the cops left. Like, they pulled up behind me with their lights on, and then they took off. I made it to, like, the McDonald's, and they fucking pulled me over again, and then they took off again. I got off at the 95, I got off by the 95, and they fucking did it again. But they just keep pulling up behind me with their fucking lights on and then leaving.
Oh,
But I just want to tell you that. Love you, bye.
I don't know.
I get fucked up, drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit. I get fucked up, drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit. I get fucked up, we ain't doing much, trying to have a good time. Got 4 bad bitches, man, the pleasure's all mine. Girls kissing girls, best believe they all fine. Girls kissing girls, best believe they all fine. Let go, let go, let go, let go. What you doing? Drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit. Hey, get fucked up. Drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit. Hey, get fucked up. 4 bad bitches, man, the pleasure all mine. We ain't doing nothing, trying to have a good time. Roll around the city, Porsche seats on recline. 4 bad bitches fucking at the same time. Big man keys, gotta act like a bubble. Feet of M&M's, watch it turn to some trouble. 2 hands on the ball, shorty just double. Once I get mine, I ain't even trying to cuddle. All in the party, hippie trippy on the Henny. Jar full of weed, baby girl, I got plenty. Break fat for the cheese like I work at Dennis. Shout it with the shots, I need many. Molly in the system, drinking out the bottle. Shout it going in, going hard for a throttle. Instagram lights got a feeling like a model. If you looking for the drug, don't worry, I fucked up. Drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit. Hey, get fucked up. Drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit. Hey, get fucked up. We ain't doing much, trying to have a good time. Got 4 bad bitches, man, the pleasure's all mine. Girls kissing girls, best believe they all fine. Girls kissing girls, best believe they all fine. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. What you doing? Drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit. Get fucked up, drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, pop a little bit. Hey, get fucked up. Shot down my phone, gotta still talking sober. Molly gotta add water, wait, no.